First set, first leg, it's Richie to throw first. Game on.
Charlie gets us underway. He's on home soil as well. He's an Essex boy. But Richie Howson is taking home advantage to the extreme. Imagine playing less than 2 miles from home. But let's face facts. Richie Howson is a very good dart player. And on home soil, wearing his favourite colours, he's going to fancy this.
Well, not a bad start, and it was greeted with plenty of cheers.
95.
The kind of support that Howson has here, a 140. But Paul, just a quick reflection on the evening as we get into this match. I mean, that Painter O'Shea game just delivered so much, didn't it? We've had 3 really different
26.
games of darts.
We have. We've seen a really good performance from Robert Thornton. We've seen a somewhat attritional battle between Dieter Hedman and Peter Manley, which he won, but
43.
That really was an incredible spectacle between Painter and O'Shea. And as far as first meetings go, that was rather memorable. As far as these two are concerned, they have met before, once before in a challenge tour match.
100.
But that doesn't really bode anything for this match, in my opinion. It's all about the now.
Darryl Fitton with the better darting pedigree, of course. 2016 BDO World Trophy winner. Also won the Finder Masters in 2009. Multiple ranking titles to his name, but you pointed out earlier, Paul, he's never won the same one twice.
140.
Yeah, remarkable thing about Darryl Fitton. When you got sessions like this, you and I love doing a bit of homework, just finding out little factoids. And you look at certain databases, and the thing that stuck out for me is that Fitton's won all those
60.
titles. 13, in fact, BDO and WDF titles, and none of them he's won more than once.
95 for a dominant first leg from Richie Howson. I'm going to come on to a point about the qualifiers in a moment, but double eights will take the first leg for this qualifier.
79.
Yeah, quickly, Paul. In these types of events, qualifiers are going to be more dangerous, aren't they, than in your standard professional event, because qualifiers are outsiders there when actually they're in form.
140.
Absolutely right.
Richie requires 60.
Competitive, nervy games coming into this, and that's a guide for double eight. Is that a help or a hindrance?
8.
Maybe a hindrance.
Darryl, you require 134.
What sort of trick has Fitton got up his sleeve? No kind of trick on this occasion.
44.
In a sense, if Howson does plant this
Richie
double,
require 8.
How much support he's got in this arena.
Let's find out on double 2 potentially, or double 1.
Game shot on the first leg.
Yeah, there's
Richie
a few of them in
Howson.
here, that's for sure.
Second leg, it's Darryl to throw first.
Anybody would think that Richie Howson is a West Ham fan, judging by what he's wearing. Well, you'd be right. I can guarantee you that Darryl Fitton is not.
140.
I mentioned Howson came through that qualifier. Actually came through with Kevin Burness, who's since gone on to win a PDC Tour card, meaning he can't play in the seniors. His place taken by Dave Prinz, who we'll see later on this weekend.
60.
Some big names in the field. Plenty of big names turned up. The likes of Ronnie Baxter, who Howson beat in his opening match of that qualifier, before seeing off Paul Holloway, Mark Hilton, Brian Dawson, Colin McGarry and Ian Moss 6-5 in the final.
134.
There's one name in that list that really pops out to me. That's Colin McGarry of Northern Ireland. Fabulous, fabulous player. And one of those players, for me, that could still do something in the seniors game.
99.
Because we do have, of course, some other tournaments scheduled for 2022. We'll get onto those in a bit more detail throughout the broadcast over the weekend.
The match play and the Masters to tantalise your taste buds.
80.
More information will be revealed, as Paul said. What are we learning about this pair in the early exchanges? I thought Richie started really well, but he got a little bit edgy towards the end of the leg, didn't he?
Darryl, you require 147.
At the start, you play with adrenaline, then you've got to let it dissipate and play under a certain level of tension and nerves. Darryl's been around the block a few times.
97.
This is his first ranking event on this stage. He's played at Lakeside, he's played in a lot of other places, but he's never played here in a match as important as this.
140. Darryl, you require 50.
Just 50 required for Darryl Fitton, so double top. Double 10.
30.
Shouldn't really have been anywhere close to that dart. That was a big pull
Richie
there from
require 102.
Darryl Fitton, but 102 for Richie Howson to double his lead in the first set. Options, bull or treble 14. Didn't like that one, the owl.
44. Darryl, you require 20.
Back for that double 10, this time without a dart in the way. And that shouldn't bother it.
Game on the second leg. Darryl Fitton.
Not a classic leg, but we have
Third
seen
leg,
already
Richie
tonight,
to throw
Murph,
first.
plenty
Game
of
on.
players just showing a bit of nerves at the start of the contest, and they grow into the contest.
100.
Interesting that Darryl, when speaking to Helen earlier, mentioned that he hit multiple 9-darters in preparation for this match, and he wasn't really sure which set of darts to use.
100.
Yeah, 2 9-darters, Darryl Fitton, each time using a different set of darts.
It does beg the question, doesn't it? After he's hit the first 9-darter, why would he change? I know I wouldn't.
Well, this is true.
180.
180 from Richie Howson, getting the crowd on their feet.
We're going to have to find out what you call a bunch of owl fans.
81.
(2-2-1) for Richie Howson. 180 scored in this leg.
100.
See that Richie Howson's trying to gather the darts on top of each other, a la Taylor, whereas Darryl Fitton, very symptomatic of what he's done in his career, is getting them to stack underneath.
90.
He does have a tendency sometimes
Richie
to pull them to the
require
left.
121.
Well, the referee does signify a 1-2-1. 20 leaves 101.
89.
That'll do. Didn't have to go for the bullseye, and didn't. Leaves himself handily placed on 32 to give himself a 2-1 lead in the first set. Fitting on 230 here, but that's shrinking fast.
180.
Big pressure piling finish.
Richie require 32.
Is Howson feeling that pressure? Double 16. Maybe he can work off that. Flick the flight, diverted away from the double.
24.
Darryl Fitton's 180 there.
Darryl, you require 50.
Adding some duress to those darts. And now he looks at tops for a breaker throw.
That's a decent guide if he can just glide it in off that.
10.
Didn't find the line.
Richie, you require 8.
So double 4.
That's in the way.
4.
Just saw that flick off the flight.
Darryl, you
Where his darts
require
land,
40.
that was firmly in the way of dart 2. And it stopped him from taking a 2-1 lead. And now Fitton can capitalise on tops. Can he find the line this time with dart number 3?
Game
Yes, he
shot
can.
on the third leg.
Perfectly pitched.
Darryl Fitton.
And he's now 2-1 up in the first set.
Taking control, the Dazzler.
Fourth leg, it's Darryl to throw first.
Here at the Circus
Game on.
Tavern. The man from Stockport has made the trip down from Lancashire to Essex. Rather longer trip than his opponent, as we've been saying.
95.
Slightly.
We do have players from much further afield, don't we? Larry Butler in action, Paul Lim in action.
Yeah, I think Paul Lim takes the cake there.
59.
Longest trip. Larry's come all the way from Ohio. And the Singapore slinger, all the way from wherever he's dwelling these days. He's a genuinely
85.
global dart player, and someone who I learned today has featured in a video game.
More on that when he plays. I'm sure some of you will know. It's not much.
100.
Poor limb.
Very true. I was having a chat with Richie Howson earlier, saying, this is an interesting look you've going on at the minute, Richie. Looks a bit like Jonas Gutierrez, a former Newcastle United player.
It's one ticked off the
25
bingo card. Obscure Newcastle United player. Just waiting for NFL references, Paul, and then I've got a full house.
Plenty of time, yeah, plenty of time.
140.
Howson, though, he was, and understandably elated when he came through that qualifier. Saw some of the interviews he gave after it, and it was just like a dream come true. And you've made the point to me off air that this actually could be the biggest game of his life.
I
96.
think it is, without a question.
He's had a tour card for a couple of years back in the middle of the last decade, but didn't have many big runs. A couple of quarterfinals, which is massive credit on the PDC Pro Tour.
60.
But he only stayed around for those 2 years, and yeah, this is really his first big TV outing. We saw him at the UK Open a few times. He had the terrible draws, by the way.
Yeah, he was.
Thank Irwin and Hamilton amongst
54. Richie, you
what happens when
require
you're a non-seed.
142.
But 142, is he looking south? He's gone north. Fitton's on 146 when he comes back. How small can Richie make this 142?
60.
Only 60.
Darryl, you require 146.
treble 20. The first target not found, so Howson will return. 82 is quite a nice finish. Most players go for the bullseye, knowing that they've got the security of hitting a 25 and then having a single to double
Richie,
combination.
require 82.
Players like to start on bullseye on certain combinations. That isn't the end of the world. Oh, that is the end of the leg, potentially.
Didn't have to go that way, did he?
No, he didn't.
Could have gone for the 15 and ended on the ball.
Should have gone for the 15.
Darryl, you require
he didn't want in the ball was
52.
the second one, and that's what he got. And that's what you get. This is what you get. Double 8 for Darryl Fitton.
Game shot on the first set.
Howson
Darryl
learns
Fitton.
the hard way about decision making, because Darryl Fitton takes the first set.
You just have to say that when you've got 65 and 2 darts left,
Second
you don't
set,
go for
first leg.
25.
It's
Too much of a gamble.
Game on.
Too much of a gamble, and it didn't get banked. So Fitton, with his experience and his stage experience, has taken the first set. Not
45.
a classic first set, but one he will definitely greet with a lot of happiness.
It was a very interesting interview that he gave to Helen Chamberlain, Darryl Fitton. He said that he was kind of calm
60.
on the outside, but really panicking on the inside. And he spoke about having butterflies coming into this tournament. For a man who's as experienced on the big stage as Darryl Fitton, it's something of a surprise, but they're all taking it really seriously, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
95.
Bob Anderson said at the start of our programme, if I didn't feel these nerves, I'd have been worried.
What a moment it was, by the way, when Anderson exited the tournament with the parting gift of a maximum, and that finger point we're all waiting to see. An iconic image here at the Circus Tavern. Anderson bowing out tonight at the hands of Robert Thornton, who won in straight sets, looked in very good fettle. Then Peter Manley beat Dieter Hedman, coming back from
42.
set behind to set up a tasty tie against Phil the Power Taylor tomorrow evening around 9 PM. They should be on.
Winner of this one gets Martin Adams. It just gets tastier.
Taylor,
60.
Thornton and Adams, the three that most pundits are talking about as the favourites for the tournament.
And Lisa Ashton. I think a lot of Lisa fans out there, and indeed darts fans in general, think that she can do this.
The other match was
95.
a war of attrition between Kevin Painter and Tony O'Shea, which went the way of the artists. It almost went to a sudden death leg here at the Circus Tavern in quite incredible fashion. What a story it was.
100.
What a story that would have been and could have been.
It'll be an interesting tweet from Kevin tonight when things have come down a notch. I think the adrenaline might be staying with him for a few hours until he can finally get some sleep.
25.
That's the thing about playing late, though. If you get that big adrenaline-busting win, it's going to take you a while to get to sleep. Now, one of these guys is not going to sleep tonight because one of them's got to go home.
It's got a ring to it. When the
100.
There's usually only one winner, isn't there?
Depends what kind of owl it is and what kind of wolf.
Shake
45.
of the head there from Fitton.
Richie require 121.
He's opened the door here for Howson to break him immediately in the second.
For me, this match is all about how's their engine.
85.
These players will be very much
Darryl,
tuned into winning short format matches,
154.
but they won't have much experience at all recently of playing long format matches. So Fitton has got the first set. Now it's about digging deep. That's what you call finding something right at the bottom of your pocket. Brilliant
Richie
stuff from
require
Fitton.
36.
Can he use that, or is it a bit of an obstruction?
Now it's an obstruction. How does he hit this?
18.
Well, he doesn't, is the answer.
Darryl, you require 30.
Darryl's left a dodgy double himself. Can't go inside with dart 2, or doesn't get a third.
Oh, how does he hit this one? Through the posts.
No score.
Almost does it. Almost a wonder dart from the Dazzler.
Richie, you require 18.
Both players on doubles you'd rather not be on. Is he going to split? Goes straight for the hit, and now he can't afford to come inside. And he has come inside.
That first dart really was
11.
obscure, and he's hit double one till he's 7.
Darryl, you require 30.
Well, in danger here of the first leg of the second set taking as long as the entire first set.
Oh, no,
score.
Darryl. That is the pitfall of missing the 3
Richie
left or right.
requires 7.
Single 3, found. Double 2. This time, it's not blocked.
No
but it is
score.
bust.
Darryl, you
Still on
require
7.
30.
And Darryl still on 30. Still got an open bed this time.
Game
And
shot on
this
the
time he
first
hits
leg. Darryl
Darryl
Fitton.
Fitton takes advantage of some
Second
double
leg,
trouble
it's Richie
from
to
the pair
throw
of
first.
them.
Game on.
Howson looking unsettled here.
Now Richie's got one of his best pals cheering him on in the crowd tonight in the shape of Keegan Brown. One of the best players on the PDC circuit.
140.
They've been very good friends for quite some time, Richie and Keegan. And Keegan, watching on, is going to be having his nerves shredded. They always say that it's harder to watch than play
85.
because you're in no control in the crowd.
And some friendship from Brown, who will be travelling to a Pro Tour event in Barnsley at the weekend. He's used to travelling. Keegan Brown lives on the Isle of Wight.
85.
Like he keeps telling me, why would you move from the place that gets the best weather in the country? Good darts, Keegan, good darts.
Well, Richie Howson will be hoping to find a few more good darts himself.
100.
140 followed by 85, in command on throw in this leg, but needs to keep it up, and is doing.
Perfect light.
140.
Very unfortunate not to get the maximum there, actually.
A fair few of the crowd thought he had. Well, Darryl Fitton looking to join him on 136 by landing one of his own.
140.
Somewhat unfortunate
Richie
this time for
require
Darryl.
136.
But that lack of a treble in the last dart doesn't get him to a finish. Howson 136. Down to 16 surely.
96.
Finds it, will come back for tops, and hopefully for him it will be no more dramas like the last leg.
$140. Richie, you
Well,
require
let's see, because
40.
the pressure has been piled on once again. The more conventional double, edging towards it.
No score.
Not close enough, and Fitton now has the opportunity
Darryl, you require
to move 2 clear
36.
in set 2.
Darryl Fitton is putting the pressure on. It's now 9-9 for him. Dart 2 cannot go into the single. You can't do that. It was a very aggressive try.
No score.
But unfortunately for Darryl, it's not a 2-0 lead.
Richie,
Well,
you
not just yet.
require 40.
One thing we haven't really had until the last couple of legs have been spells like this of missed doubles tonight.
Game shot on the second
That
leg.
spells the end of that
Richie Howson.
particular run. As Howson levels up.
Third leg, it's Darryl to throw
Given some
first.
encouragement from the Circus Tavern crowd.
Quite the phrase this week, isn't it? Leveling up.
125.
We've got a north-south clash, of course, here, haven't we?
Absolutely.
And it's the north that's winning at the moment.
85.
But all the odds, the stats in the favour of the southerner.
Just think about all the county battles that have happened over the years between the likes of Kent,
60.
Essex, Lancashire, Cheshire. Cheshire, of course, the home county of Darryl Fitton. Used to play in a very fetching shade of yellow, the Cheshire County squad.
85.
What a team they had at a point around 20 years ago. I bet you don't know that Peter Wright used to play for them. He used to travel from Suffolk to play for Cheshire.
If you ever get the chance to look at photographs of
61.
Peter Wright from yesteryear, certainly worth doing. The shadow of the snakebite that we've come to know now, the reigning world champion. Actually, who is of seniors' age, isn't it? Just shows that this is a sport with no
125.
barriers.
If he was allowed to, he'd play here. That's for sure. This is good from Darryl Fitton. The switch is the right thing to do, because the single
99.
leaves 156. You'd rather have that than 155, because you get 2 cracks at that 60, get them both together, and you got the opportunity for Painter's best finish of the night. But this is great from Howson.
138. Darryl, you require 156.
Forcing Fitton into a big finish. An ocean of space in the treble 20. But he can't make a splash, and now Howson has the
100.
opportunity to turn this set
Richie requires
in his favour.
68.
Options: 16 or an 8. 16's perfect.
52.
Double does. Well, the third dart
Darryl, you
flicking on the
require
second dart. It shouldn't have been
56.
anywhere close to it.
A bit of fury we saw there. 56 needed for Darryl Fitton. Double top now.
36.
Adjusted. Double 8 for Howson when he comes
Richie
back.
requires 16.
He's really furious having missed with the previous visit. Now double 4. Now double 2.
Game shot on the
goes.
third leg.
And the
Richie
third leg goes away
Howson.
of Richie Howson in this second set. Having
Fourth
lost
leg,
the
it's
first,
Richie to throw first.
he now has the
Game
dart
on.
to square up this game.
That double 2 has been kind to Richie Howson, so is it a case of to wit double 2?
45.
I kind of like it. I really shouldn't, but fair enough. Fair play, Paul.
You're the king of the puns. I'm just trying to keep up.
Didn't want to go down that
100.
particular avenue.
The only avenue that Richie wants to go down is the avenue of winning the second set. Currently 2 legs to 1 up, as you can
100.
see. The averages both in the mid to high 70s. I'm not surprised to see that, because I feel that they're both working really hard right now.
45.
They won't be used to playing this late, and they're definitely not used to playing this format. No matter how much you practice it, it will sap your energy when you're up there.
We He's found his range, hasn't he, Richie Howson?
140.
Certainly on that treble 20. And the Owl homing in on the second set.
54.
There's a lot of owl masks out in the crowd.
Yeah, they're having a hoot.
It's like a scene from Eyes Wide Shut out there. Eyes firmly open for the Owl, who delivers a real haymaker there, and he's 36 points away from set 2.
Fitton could have still left to finish after the first start, but needed 2 treble 20s
32.
after the slip. Double 18 for Richie
Richie
Howson
requires
to level up this match.
36.
To delight the crowd here. A home crowd for Richie Howson. Doesn't matter, double 16.
4.
Still probably doesn't matter because Darryl Fitton stranded somewhere near Stockport.
If you're going to miss that double 18 and your opponent's on 270, you're better off hitting that 4 than a single 18, believe me. And Darryl's got to stay straight here. He does.
100.
Howson for the set.
Richie
Go to the break.
32.
Double 16 the target still.
Game shot in the second set.
Hometown
Richie
hero,
Howson.
Richie Howson levels.
Come on.
But if there wasn't a break, I would have definitely said Richie Howson because he was starting to play properly. But if he really does get a good start in set 3, like he's doing right now, I think he's going to get this job done, you know.
180.
Seemed to have broken his stride one bit. Richie Howson opening with a maximum.
I can't think of another player who has been involved in any World Championship within walking distance of a venue. I do remember when we played in Coventry once, as we look at perfection from Richie Howson.
125.
He ruined my story with brilliance.
You can get it back, Paul. You can get it back.
I remember a guy called Kevin Dowling, great player from Warwickshire. Lived in walking distance of the Ricoh Arena, the former Ricoh Arena in Coventry. He used to twist the knife to us and say, "You in your hotel rooms and all your travelling, I can walk here." And that's exactly what Richie Howson's doing here.
45.
Like a walk in the park for him at the start of that leg. 5 perfect darts from the Owl. We saw 6, didn't we? From Robert Thornton earlier this evening.
Can you imagine the headlines if somebody does hit a 9 for the first time
40.
on this stage?
Richie require 151.
It's never been done in all the time we've been coming here since 1994.
Howson has time on his side as he looks to lead in the match for the first time since the first leg.
There you see our camera pointing at the player, just giving you an indication of where they stand on the hockey. You can see that not all players stand in the middle.
Richie require 53.
Howson was threatening a 9. Darryl Fitton's just scored 9.
Game shot on the
Howson
first
will be
leg.
feeling good.
Richie Howson.
Because he's punished it.
Second leg, it's Darryl to throw first. Game on.
It's a family affair here for the Circus Tavern. The Howson fan club on their feet.
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, Murph, watching this.
100.
Looking at social media feeds to get scores and thinking, surely it's going to be Fitton against Martin Adams next. I think Richie Howson's got different ideas. He wants to try and topple
135.
England legends on the way to the latter stages of this tournament. Adams awaits the winner, and in this section of the draw, we have Alan Warren a little. We have
123.
We have Lisa Ashton and Terry Jenkins, all with a St. George cross against their name.
100.
Stellar lineup, former world champions, but as we were saying before, the likes of Richie Howson are the real sort of dangerous floaters in the draw, if you like. unknown quantities in terms
58.
of status in the game, but they've come through a qualifier, a good qualifier, at a good standard, and will be a danger in this tournament. Howson is backing that up.
Absolutely right, and you proved that point by talking about Kevin Burness. He qualified for this, then subsequently wasn't allowed to play in it, but his quality coming through the qualifier was then evident at Q School against some of the elite players in World Darts.
78.
Place was then taken by the next player.
Richie require 131.
Of course, we've seen him on the Pro Tour take on Paul Lim in a first round match tomorrow afternoon.
39.
Fortunate collision there for Richie Howson.
Darryl, you require 142.
Seen this number a few times tonight. Haven't seen anybody get that close to it.
90. Richie, you require 92.
Choices here, bullseye or treble 20. It looks like he's going the bull. 14 off it. 78. Could go double 19, but treble 18 is the option.
We are seeing a bit of old school
51.
Tactics tonight
Darryl,
on the approach shots
52.
and the approaching trebles for doubles. We're not seeing a lot of double-double action, but again he goes for that treble 12 on 52. It's cost him.
36.
He only gets one darted double in that leg.
Richie, you require
I don't get
41.
that play. I think the single 12 is the shot, but double 16 is the shot here for 2-0 in the third.
Make it double 8, and
Game
he does make
shot on
double
the
8.
second leg. Richie Howson.
Darryl Fitton sweat now. It's Richie Howson.
Third leg, it's Richie to throw
legs
first.
To the good in the
Game
first set, and throwing for a 2-1 lead.
You ever seen an owl with a ponytail? I have. His name's Richie Howson.
140.
Surely you're going to be in Richie Howson's corner. You're a Sheffield Wednesday fan.
I can see him as well, Paul. I thought it would be me that brought up those particular owls, but
58.
I usually admit to on air. Just looks very comfortable now, doesn't he? He looked comfortable with his first few throws
58.
until he got to a double. He went a little bit iffy, but he just looks really at home.
No pun intended, because he is at home pretty much. I wonder how many times he's driven past this venue in his life. It'll be in the thousands.
And it would have been with the thought, oh, it would have been nice to have played there, and now he's got the chance.
It's amazing that you bring that up, because if you think about O'Shea, Fitton, even Martin Adams,
86.
they'll be thinking, do you know what? Never played at the Tavern. I wonder what that was like. And the reason they're getting this chance is because of World Seniors Darts.
180.
What darts they can still throw. Darryl Fitton just sending a little reminder, a notification to his opponent saying, I'm
45.
still here. This isn't just a practice match.
One thing I can say, it's hot up there. It might not be the tallest of stages,
39.
but because of the way this place is constructed, it attracts heat when there are fans in here. It is hot.
The moment of the night, I mean, nothing's going to beat the Bob Anderson parting maximum, but I think Kevin Painter almost knocking Tony O'Shea off the stage by stepping back into him and then looking at him like he shouldn't be there. A brilliant highlight. But it is the exact blueprint that used to be used when the World Championship
60.
was held here. Small stage, a crowd.
Richie require 127.
We'll come back to that point actually, because it's a really good thing to talk about. Richie Howson's looking to take this set with 57 and ball.
55.
This is needed to stop
Darryl,
Richie
you
Howson from getting a shot for the set
116.
next time. Keep the line, fix the weight.
41.
Options here for Howson on 72.
Richie require 72.
May stay there for double 16. does exactly that.
Game shot on the third flag.
Hits the front
Richie Howson.
Richie Howson does get the Owls howling here
Full
at the
set first leg. It's Darryl to throw first.
Fitton has the darts, but Howson, he has the hearts of the crowd, and he has the lead in sets, 2-1.
And he deserves it too. He has been the better player over the last couple of sets. And that break has not hurt him whatsoever. If anything, it's made him even better. And that first start is working now. And it's given him so much confidence.
Just talk us through the action, Paul. Give us some of your ace asset analysis on the throw of, well, both players.
You look at Fitton, he measures with that micro prod, and how has he got that to stay in the 60?
141.
It's 141 after he's retrieved all of those darts, because if it falls on the floor, it doesn't count, of course. But we'll talk about the throw of Fitton first. There's a placement of the dart well in front of his eye, and a little twist of the dart towards his face, and then it's projected with a real snap there, as you can see. Quite contrary to the style of Richie Howson, who, in a similar way to Darryl Fitton, almost measures the dart in front of his eye line first, but lobs it. He doesn't snap the dart forward, it's a lob. See that? The arm stays out there for a period of time, and that's why the darts land the way they do.
100.
And those from Fitton, which really stand to attention in the board.
That's a perfect first start for Darryl.
134.
Superb 1-3-4 from him to leave himself on a finish of 154.
Darryl, you require 104.
So it's 104 required for Darryl Fitton. The referee Charlie Corstefine just clearing that up for us.
80.
Well, 80.
Richie, you require 80.
80 required by Howson.
Another single for him. Leaves the double for the lead in the fourth.
40.
Width of a wire away.
Darryl, you require 24.
See the Howson family praying.
Game shot on the first leg.
But not for that.
Darryl Fitton.
Darryl Fitton.
Second leg, it's Richie to throw first.
His prey inside.
Game
Can
on.
he reel him in?
This one could go deep, just like the third match of the night. Wouldn't be the first time for a game to go really late here at the Tavern.
60.
Just going back to that point earlier, Murph, about the size of the stage. I've played on a few small stages in my career, and I've on purpose
31.
stepped back to within millimetres of the edge of the stage just to give my opponent space. I don't want them anywhere near me. I didn't want to be embroiled in some sort of tactics battle.
60.
I get a feeling you've been slightly disingenuous there, Paul. You've had one or two tactics battles in your time. Actually, to be fair, your fights were never really with the opponent, they were just with the 2,000 people in the crowd.
And myself.
Well, that's true as well, isn't it? Many a darts player, many a sportsman, their own worst enemy.
Absolutely right. Think about Tiger Woods and his career.
140.
He stopped being so great for a period of a couple of years because he was obsessed with training, and it was not helping his golf. That was a battle with himself. And when you're on the dart stage, nobody can help you. There's no caddies in darts. There's no trainers. If you're in trouble,
58.
You're the one who's got to dig yourself out of it.
Howson in command of this second leg. Still will feel pretty comfortable right now.
95.
Fitton not pulling up any trees.
That's a good switch, though.
69.
He needed a lot more than that.
Richie
Richie
require
Howson's position in the
146.
second leg of the fourth set. 146. A lot of people these days, Murph, like the treble 19 section there. 2 of them would have left 32, but
130.
that will do, Richie. That will do.
Leaves Darryl Fitton in his trail once again. Down to 8-8 for his return.
81.
Friends and family just behind him to the left.
Richie
as you're looking
requires
at the screen.
16.
Well, he's on the hockey. Cheering him on. Are they cheering it in?
No score.
That's not going to hurt him, but will it just dent his confidence a little bit? We are going to ask that question like we did with some other players earlier tonight. When they get closer to the finishing line,
100.
how do they feel?
Richie requires 16.
And set play as well. He's got a chance to finish it soon, hasn't he, if he can get it done. It's too much for some to bear. Maybe it's too much for Howson to bear.
8.
And Fitton has a chance to double
Darryl,
his
you
lead in this
require
set.
105.
A lot of people recently going for the bullseye in this shot. Not Darryl. He's got tops. Oh, and did you see Richie Howson nodding in the background as if to say, I know this is going to be hit, and he was right.
Well, if Richie Howson is going to call himself the Owl, then in that
third leg, it's Darryl to throw first. Game on.
That's just made away with his chips. The pocket picked, and Darryl Fitton now a leg away from taking this game to a fifth and final set.
What a dramatic first night here at the World Seniors Darts Championship at the Circus Tavern in Purfleet. What a venue. If these walls could talk.
140.
Got to come, none bigger, of course, than the 16-time champion of the world, Phil the Power Taylor, in action tomorrow evening in the second round against Peter Manley. Getting reacquainted on the Circus Tavern stage. Martin Adams awaiting the winner of this one tomorrow evening. We'll also see the likes of Terry Jenkins, Alan Warren-Little, Paul Lim, and Roland Sholton tomorrow afternoon.
John Lowe.
180.
He's coming up. Not for a little while, because there Richie Howson dips his bread 3 times. Trying to get this one done by 3-1 by winning 3 straight legs. Sounds easy, doesn't it? It really isn't.
44.
Well, it's an interesting position to be in, isn't it? 2-0 down in legs, but 2-1 up in sets in a race to 3 sets. Because, yeah, there is the possibility of getting it done with a quick burst of legs. But
99.
in the back of your mind, you must be half preparing for a final set.
Set play in other sports has its own complexities. Think about tennis, of course.
60.
Ashley Barty was 5-1 down in the first set of the Australian Open final and won that one 7-5, I believe. Richie Howson's got to do something akin to that. That'll work. Leaving 57. Double top.
62.
Another missed dart double. And that has been the difference between these two in this set.
Now he's got the recent memory of being so far ahead in a leg, Fitton being nowhere and losing that leg.
26.
Such a different story. This could be to put himself
Richie
within 1 leg of
20.
winning this contest, but it's to survive the set. He's got plenty of time and he needs to get rid of it, not split this.
Game shot.
But it doesn't matter when you hit double 5 straight away,
Howson.
and that will make him feel so much better now that he is 2 legs away from winning this match.
Fourth leg, it's Richie to throw first.
Thinking about
Game
the
on.
prospects of the final set to thinking about piling the pressure on Fitton in a final leg in this set.
58.
You mentioned Richie Howson has played at tournaments like the UK Open. Well, I guarantee you that the format for those matches was nowhere close to this long. In the early stages of the UK Open, it's been best of 9 legs or even best of 11.
85.
It's been a lot more than that in this match.
did wonder how the length of games might affect some players. They're not coming on stage with walking sticks. They can still do the job. But it is, you know, when you're not used to that match practice, to be in that mental battle as much as a physical one, can wear you down, can't it? Darryl Fitton showing he's still got a spring in his step.
He needs it to try and bank set 4 to stop Howson from having the chance of winning the match in the next leg. But Howson
100
on 303. Why was he going 60s there? That was a bad play, and he didn't get himself out of jail by maxing.
Does that tell you anything about where his head might be at in the game, that he didn't think about that?
Maybe.
96.
But he might not be the most astute at the tactical or the mathematical side of the game. He's definitely not out of the leg though, if he finds a 2 treble visit here. He's got to go 18s. Great switch.
79. Darryl, you require 140.
140 for Fitton. It's difficult, isn't it? He has to stay there, but he really doesn't want to. He's not going to.
84.
134 would have left.
Richie require 124.
Backing himself for a couple of trebles. It'll be a 2-darter. I was about to say if he comes back, but I can change that now to when he comes back. Only needed 1 treble in this visit, but
72.
after the first start found the 5. Didn't matter.
Darryl,
Is he going to go for treble
56.
16 here? He's not. Unlike his treble 12 stuff from earlier, but that's a big pull from Darryl Fitton.
24.
What an invitation for the Owl to take 52, to be within
52.
501 points of beating Darryl Fitton. Double 16 for 2-2 in the 4th.
20.
That corner of the board has cost him dearly in this set.
Darryl, you require 32.
They may be the 2 darts that he really dwells on in days to come. Fitton needing double 8.
Game shot on the 4th set. Darryl Fitton.
Darryl Fitton taking set 4 and forcing a 5th and final set in the final match of the opening night here at the World Seniors
final
Darts
set.
Championship.
First leg. It's Richie to throw first. Game on.
Well, the pattern of the games, Paul, just to worry you a little bit if you were thinking about a bedtime story anytime soon, has been dominant, a 3-0 whitewash first, then a little bit closer, 3-1, then 3-2,
100.
So this one's going sudden death, I'm afraid to say.
So 11 more legs for your entertainment as we take you past the midnight hour here on Thursday night.
125.
Well, he hasn't really dazzled, has he, Darryl Fitton, but he's just stuck in there. Howson has been the better player in the match. I don't think many would argue with that.
135.
His nous, his experience.
But like I said in the last set, how much had double 16 and double 8 cost Richie Howson in set 4? If it wasn't for those misses, he would have won the match by now.
30.
There's a lot of stressed faces out in that crowd now. A lot of people biting fingernails and thinking, are we going to be celebrating in 20 minutes? Or even less than that? Or are we going to be commiserating the man in West Ham colours?
We've spoken about how having the crowd on your side can be a help, but also brings pressure with it, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Not just trying to win for yourself. You don't want to disappoint
58.
however many fans you've brought along with you.
The incredible amount of times that I've heard dart players at the top level apologise to their fans for the way they've performed, or their family. I've never been like that.
81.
But then again, I'm the kind of person who didn't invite a great deal of friends and family to come and watch me because I didn't like it. I used to find more pressure from having people with me.
140.
Let's see.
Richie require 93.
May start on the bull. He's going for treble 19. No, it is the bullseye.
What a lie if he gets the single. What a lie this is, Murph.
68.
He liked the lie, he wanted to use it.
Darryl, you require 148.
Outside chance for Fitton, but when he finds that treble 20, he so often follows it. Goes low though.
140.
In the end, proved that point.
Richie, you require 25.
Don't miss a big number.
Don't miss double 8 again.
Game shot
and
the
this
first
time,
leg.
if only
Richie
he'd done
Howson.
that early in set 4, he might not be throwing now. He might be speaking to Helen Chamberlain. But the fact of the matter is, he's still
Second leg,
enjoying
it's Darryl
it.
to throw
I
first.
think he's digging this
Game on.
experience.
Certainly stretching it out. As you said, could have been home and hosed.
85.
Fitton could have been halfway up the motorway. But he's still in the race.
Got to win by 2 clear legs in this set.
140.
Every 2 treble visit or better is going to be greeted with such cheers like we have just heard. As much as you're enjoying this experience, Richie, the ultimate goal is to finish it.
We've spoken about, the procedure of playing in this tournament for the likes of Richie Howson. Let's not forget the riches
97.
that could come with a title. £30,000 to the winner of this event. Huge money for someone like him, a qualifier.
Yeah, that would get you a fair bit of fishing equipment, because Richie Howson is not only
61.
an incredible man with a fishing rod, unbelievable talent, but he also does commissioned drawings of pretty much anything you ask for. He's a very talented artist.
So one talented artist earlier this
140.
evening, Kevin Painter, beating Tony O'Shea. Here's O'Shea's fellow Stockport pal, Darryl Fitton, going to go the same way.
83.
You fancy with the way the scores are materialising
Richie,
right here,
require
that
124.
Fitton is very close to being eliminated. Doesn't have to go the treble 18 and bull route, but going treble 18 was the right play anyway, because a single then a treble
40.
would have left double 16.
Looking comfortable. Could be under some pressure, particularly if Fitton can find another.
95. Richie, require 84.
Treble 20 for double 12. 14 or the treble. It is 14 for the bull.
Game shot on the second leg.
And in command
Richie
of this
Howson.
match. Richie Howson is one leg away from defeating Darryl Fitton.
Third leg, it's Richie to throw first.
There.
Game on.
2-2 in sets, but Howson now throwing to bring it home.
Do you get the feeling he's got some fans out there? I think they were quite happy about that.
Yeah, there's a street somewhere in Raynham down the road with no lights on.
60.
And that's not because they're asleep, it's because they're here. The lights might be out from the challenger Fitton in the next few minutes.
140.
But can he make this match longer by winning the next 2 legs? That's what he needs to do minimum. He can afford to lose the 5th leg of this set, but he cannot lose the 3rd and 4th.
140.
An excellent closing out this from Richie Howson. Fitton giving it everything he's got, but having only scored 60 with his opening visit to get 2 trebles to apply the pressure.
100.
Howson, though behind in points in this leg, will feel he's still in control of it.
Yes, has the darts. Got to get rid of the deficit. He's now level with Fitton with 1 dart left.
60.
Can only get 60 in total. So an invitation for the Dazzler. He must pound that 60.
That's unlucky. It flicked off the flight and
83.
destination was diverted. A little bit of optimism offered to his opponent, who will be on a finish first.
140.
Handy one as well.
Manageable. One treble, one single, one double. Job done. But Fitton looking for a 138 here. Why is he going south? Maybe he didn't like that dangly first dart.
Richie require 101.
Being ultra cautious, but this is to win. To play Adams next, he needs 57 and double 12, or treble 15 and double 18, and he gets neither.
85.
To set up
Darryl, you require 80.
It's do or die for Darryl Fitton. It's going to be one dart at double top. And he
60.
can't find it. So Richie Howson, who lives 2 miles down the road from the Circus Tavern, takes a
Richie requires 16.
A deep breath. And takes aim at double 8. He's had a love-hate relationship with this target, but he loves it now.
And the match, Richie Howson.